Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Hello and welcome to India Analytics and Analytics of the Bharat. So today we have Mr. Suresh Kochatill from Hyderabad. Sir, welcome to our show. So we are very privileged to host you. Welcome to our show, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, sir. So for the past 2 days, the topic of the nation was the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation elections. So there has been all the top leaders are there for this municipal election actually. So it is a bit surprising for us. So all the national leaders from starting from Union Minister Hamid Shah to Union Minister Smriti Rani to Mr. Tejasvi Surya. So everyone was there. So what is the importance of this election, sir?
One of the reasons why this election has become important, even though the last 2016 election was not so important, was the reason that BJP is now trying to make a foray into Telangana. Now, for them, the 2024 election will be crucial because they have almost saturated the north belt, the so-called cow belt as we call it, that is saturated. So they have to now look at new places. So Karnataka is something they already have a presence. So they need to make a presence somewhere else, And Telangana is a beachhead they have. For one, unlike Andhra Pradesh, where YS Jagan plays a very, very important role right now, and there's no chance for BJP to make a foray at least for the next 2 decades or even at least 10 years there. That is the reason why Telangana becomes important. Telangana is also closer to BJP's heart because Hyderabad state, which is the bigger part of Telangana, which is, it is stretch all the way till Aurangabad in Maharashtra, right down to almost near Chennai. And that's how it was. It's so huge state as that. It was liberated by Sardar and to be 1948. It looks at a foray and it wants to get into a place like Telangana. The reason becomes very obvious is that if there are, for example, in the last assembly election, BJP won only 1 seat, that too from Gosha Mahal in the old city, from where Raja Singh won. And that he has won on his own. Raja Singh won on his own because he's got that charisma, he's got that hold in that part of the city. If you look at other parts, BJP actually, except for 17 seats, lost the deposits in almost all the seats in the assembly election. Okay. But when it came to 2019 Lok Sabha election, we saw a turnaround. BJP did well. They won 4 seats. They won Sikandrabad, where from Kishan Reddy won. They won from Nizamabad, which is a very, very prestigious contest because there what happened was the Chief Minister's daughter was pitted against BJP Dharmapuri Arvind, and Arvind won against Kalvakuntla Kavita. That is a big upset. I think that is one of the biggest reasons why BJP thought that it could make a foray into Telangana. Now, that part of it, actually, if you know Adilabad, Nizamabad and that area, this is all bordering Maharashtra. There's a huge Maharashtrian population there.
Okay.
So BJP can always say that, or the TRS can say this because of the Maharashtrian population that BJP won there. But remember, it was also a very, very significant minority population, the Muslim vote bank. But in spite of that, BJP won. Now, BJP won Nizamabad, BJP won Adilabad. So Soyam Bapura, who won from Adilabad, was not even a BJP candidate. He came from another party, Congress, and then he defected to BJP just before the election and he got a seat vote. He got a B form and he won, and he was himself surprised that he won the election. Again, it's a tribal dominated constituency, Adilabad, so he had a good hold there and he won there. Then came the Karimnagar seat from where the present party, president of Telangana, he won that seat, Bandi Sanjay. Sanjay is winning that seat in the kind of wards there in the municipality, but he never won an assembly election. Suddenly he won the Lok Sabha election. Okay. That again has a huge minority vote bank. So what is the indication? The indication is very clear that the two things happening in kind of very, very clear in Telangana is that BJP is trying to make a foray by using, I wouldn't call it polarization, but using its Hindutva vote bank. They're not apologetic about it. Unlike other states where BJP tries to say, for example, Bihar, they would openly put out a Hindutva slogan there. But here again, what we're seeing is that there is a huge Hindutva slogan being put out. And BJP is definitely going all out for kind of winning those seats. Then came the crucial Dubaka election, which happened just about a few weeks ago. There again, BJP was not expecting to win, but there was a tough fight on the card because there was a sympathy factor in Solipetta Ramlinga Reddy's wife, Sujata, who was contesting as a TRS candidate. The Congress, of course, never had a candidate, so it got a TRS rebel who was expecting the seat, B form, and he came and contested as a Congress candidate. But Raghunandan Rao, who actually, if you go back in history, was a Politburo member of TRS. He was one of the founding members of TRS, but he again, got out of TRS because of various differences with the party leadership, and he contested on a BJP ticket.
Okay.
That win actually has spurred the entire thing. Now BJP feels that there, Telangana can be had for theirs for asking if they put sufficient time, money, and effort into it.
Okay.
So what you're seeing the presence right from Amit Shah ji to Smriti Irani to Tejasvi Surya. In fact, I attended a social media influencers meet of Tejasvi Surya the other day, and there was a huge gathering of youngsters, and that is what surprises me because educated youngsters, mind you, these are people who usually go out and vote. These people take a holiday in elections, but here we saw them in that hall in the hotel waiting for Tejasvi Surya 2.5 hours was supposed to arrive. Imagine he was supposed to arrive at 7:30. He arrived finally at around 10 o'clock in the night. So that is the kind of attention that people had that they're waiting for him to come, and then they kind of heard him speak. But more importantly, what we're seeing in the entire effort that is happening today in Telangana is for a fact that BJP feels it has a chance. It has a chance. It can form the government, maybe not now, maybe years from now, 10 years from now, but it wants to replace Congress as a principal opposition party. So Congress is gone in Telangana. I mean, at one time, it was a state for such a long time, till that famous incident at the Begumpet airport where Rajiv Gandhi insulted T. Anjaya, which led to Ramara calling for the Atma Gaurav of Telugus, and subsequently the Telugu Desam party was formed and it swept the election. After the NTR, we saw Chandrababu Naidu come in again. He spent a lot of time and effort in developing Hyderabad as a brand, and definitely he deserves the credit for that. But he again lost because Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy came. He promised everything free power, free water, free everything. So he won the election. I mean, you can relate that to Chennai very clearly. Where people are given gifts of cookers and mixies and grinders and everything. So
exactly.
That culture is still there in Telangana. But what BJP is doing is to kind of bring in its leaders from across, because this is the place where you can speak Hindi. Actually, we don't speak Hindi. We speak a language called Dakhni, which is a dialect which has Urdu and Hindi and Marathi in it. Because the state, as Hyderabad, has a lot of Marathi-speaking population because it's a part of the Nizam state that included Pathwada area also. So what we're going to see subsequently is that in the election, even if BJP wins 10, 15 seats in the election, the last GHMC council, which is now presently expiring in February, they have about 4 members. Even if 2025, they will replace Congress as a principal opposition party. The second thing why BJP wants to make a foray is old city of Hyderabad. This is the kind of what you call in Hindi, we call the god of MIM. This is the kind of their backyard. They don't allow anybody to win. But Raja Singh winning from Gosha Mahal is right in the middle of the old city. And he wins. BJP has won. Badam Balreddy won from Karwan, which is again was a part of the old city. So we had victories in that part of the city. But BJP feels if MIM is going to go into Bihar and win 5 seats, we got to counter MIM in their own backyard, which is Hyderabad. Challenge OVC right here. They will not win. I mean, we will not get much seats in the old city, except for maybe a bit of Gosha Mahal and Begum Bazar and other areas where there's a traditional Marwadi population. Raja Singh, for example, belongs to the Lod community from Rajasthan, and its community is there huge numbers in Gosha Mahal. That's the reason why he wins there repeatedly. So Hyderabad is not technically Telugu speaking. Only 18% of the population here speaks Telugu, because 50% don't speak Telugu. They speak more of Dakhni, Urdu. And then you have a huge population of Tamilians, a huge population of Kannadigas, Bengalis. There are 6 lakh Bengalis. There are almost 7 lakh Malayalis. And the population of 1 crore, you have a mix of all these kind of people, because there's a huge army contingent here. There is Indian Railway, Southern Railway headquarters here, defense establishment. You have 6 of them here, the nuclear fuel complex. So Hyderabad is a cosmopolitan city in many ways. And then, of course, the IT part of it, which has brought in a huge population from across the country. So what we are seeing is this strategy. Why you ask me the question, why did you bring the big guns from across the country? Is to kind of, because if KTR, he's leading the campaign alone. His father has not even stepped into the campaign, KTR. It is only campaigning. It is prestige issue for him to win this election, and he has to show that he controls the city, because he is the heir apparent. He is taking over from KCR, and maybe by the next election, KTR will be the chief minister candidate for TRS. So BJP is all guns blazing. big time because they made a crucial mistake. And I've been saying this on television debates in the last 1 week that BJP should have announced the candidates 2 to 3 months before that they would have enough time to campaign, but they didn't do that and they lost crucial time. Now the candidates have got just 1 week because the State Election Commission is extremely weak. They actually are kind of dancing to the tunes of KCR, and that is what is a major problem for BJP. But I guess BJP is going to concentrate full time on Telangana because Amit Shah, like he did in Bihar, like he's doing in Bengal now, Telangana will be a hunting ground for BJP. They will replace the opposition party, and from there it's very easy to take on because TDP is almost non-existent in Telangana, as much as they are non-existent now in Andhra. So BJP has a big chance. That's why they put all the guns blazing. I mean, they put a dozen leaders against a single guy, KTR. How many places can KTR? And another thing is that most of the leaders can speak Hindi, and people in Hyderabad speak Dakhini, and they can understand Hindi and they can speak very well. So there is a relation. Unlike Chennai, where you have a if you don't speak in Tamil. So here there's no such issue as such. So they can go all out, and that's exactly why they're doing. They brought in Smriti Irani, they brought in Prakash Javadekar, they brought in. Now we're going to have more leaders coming down. I believe that Devendra Fadnavis is coming down.
Yogi Adityanath is also coming, it seems.
Yogi Adityanath will be specifically deployed in the old city. That's deliberate. The polarization of votes in the old city. That's been happening from a long time. So, as I said, this is a kind of a melting pot, and BJP wants this pot melting. They want to take over the principal opposition party in the days to come.
So my question is, sir. So Tejasvi Surya is speaking about, is comparing about OIC to Jinnah. So Smriti Irani is speaking about the Rohingyas actually. So Bandi Sanjay Kumar is speaking about the surgical strikes. So this is very unusual scenario for a municipal election, right?
I'll tell you why. That's why I said the word polarization. Okay. You will see every BJP meeting or every procession that is going around even below my office right now. The shout is all Jai Shri Ram. Okay. There's nothing but Jai Shri Ram. So that's very clear. Going why Yogi Adityanath is coming. Now, if you ask me why did Tejasvi Surya speak about Jinnah as a thing, because the MIM party is a relic of the Jinnah. It is actually Kazim Rizvi's Razakars. And when Kazim Rizvi fled to Pakistan after Hyderabad was liberated in 1948, the MIM party took over that part of the party. So even now, people refer in the Hindu community, or even the BJP for that matter, refers to MIM as Jinnah's party. So they are Jinnah. At one time, Kazim Rizvi wanted Nizam to merge his state with Pakistan. They were almost ready. They even went to the United Nations and they wanted, just like Kashmir, it would have been like Junagadh. There were three states which had a problem: Kashmir, Junagadh, and Hyderabad. And Sardar Patel saw to it that two of them at least didn't have a problem. Junagadh and Hyderabad were possibly annexed. Of course, all the right, because he sent the Indian army and got it annexed in Hyderabad on September 17, 1948. But if you ask me to cut a long story short, why do you have this, Hindutva agenda on the cards? Is because they need to kind of drive the polarization. Because out here, the huge community of people from other states who can definitely drive the entire message forward. And that's exactly what we're seeing.
Okay. So Hyderabad, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation has 150 seats, if I'm not wrong, and it consists of 5 Lok Sabha seats, I think, with 24 assembly seats. So if BJP captures majority of these GHMC seats, so will it able to retain or will it able to expand its party presence all over Telangana?
Well, not exactly, because I'll tell you what, the old city of Hyderabad will definitely be MIM's. Asaduddin Owaisi will win till he kicks the bucket. Okay. Secunderabad has always been a BJP seat. There have been, the Bandaru Dattatreya has won it long back, and then it again went into the Congress hands. Then once for TDP tried to get in there. But Kishan Reddy is now holding that seat, and there are about 6 assembly segments under that particular one. Secunderabad, definitely, yes, BJP seat. Chevella, which is again part of the high-tech city, and then it goes into the western part of Hyderabad, is the place where Congress won last time, and then TRS won it back this time in the 2019 elections. So the candidate from there, Konda Vishweshwar Reddy, who was with TRS, is most likely to defect to BJP. Of course, he's not an MP right now, but he will definitely move to BJP, and that will strengthen BJP's hand. Just yesterday, we had one more Politburo member from TRS, Swami Gaud, joining the BJP. Definitely, what you're seeing is a tilt towards BJP. Yes, if you ask me whether they will win all the assembly elect seats, well, it's highly unlikely. because Hyderabad has a huge Andhra population. Okay, in certain pockets, Kukatpalli, Hayat Nagar, Dilshuk Nagar, LB Nagar, these kind of places are somewhat in Malkajgiri also, which is the largest Lok Sabha constituency in India with a population of more than 18 lakhs. So, that is the kind of voting population I'm talking about. So,
Okay.
there is a huge population there. Again, Malkajgiri has got a huge Tamilian and Malayali population. So, what you're going to see in the days to come is a polarization of votes. And if what BJP is trying to do is to experiment with this. And it worked in Karnataka where there is a huge caste division. There's the Lingayats and the Vakaligas. Well, here there is Velma community, which Chief Minister Chandrasekhar Rao belongs to. The Reddys don't like them. And of course, the Kamas and the Kapus. You have the entire melting pot there. So BJP has got in Pawan Kalyan. Now, that is a big thing because Pawan Kalyan, as you know, comes from Chiranjeevi's family, Chiranjeevi's brother. And naturally, Pawan Kalyan is a big draw in Andhra side, at least. If not in Telangana, it's a big draw in Andhra. That's why you saw yesterday he had a meeting with Amit Shah and
Yeah,
BL
yeah.
Santosh. Decided that I think in all probability it will be a Janasena candidate in Tirupati. And that was a seat actually which was held by Chiranjeevi at one time. So
Okay, okay.
naturally, family is, even though Chiranjeevi is not with the BJP, but I wouldn't be surprised if either Pawan Kalyan contests from there or he puts up somebody like his brother Nagababu or somebody comes in and contests from there. It's all possible. But I think what is happening in Andhra is totally different from what is happening in Telangana. Telangana BJP has a very good chance because, as I told you, a major part of Telangana is not exactly Telugu speaking. They are more of Marathi speaking, and of course the cities have their own thing. But
Oh,
BJP has a very, very strong presence right from 1948 in the agitation that against the Nizam, and that is where the communists were there. They raked in the election. They were very strong at one time in northern Telangana, but their popularity has decreased a lot. Now it is BJP is trying to fill in that gap of Congress, trying to get Congress leaders to come into BJP. And just to bring your attention to the fact that four of the leaders who are leading the Dubaka campaign for BJP, campaign managers, including Jitendra Reddy and others who are there, Vivek Venkat Swami, DK Aruna, and Dharmapuri Arvind. These people were not from BJP originally, but they
okay,
put the
okay.
aggression. Raghunandan Rao, who won, as I told you before, was a Politburo member of TRS. So
Okay.
finally, when they the indication to BJP also that they need some more leaders from outside to bring in that aggression into the party. Because BJP in Telangana is a very soft party. But in Telangana, you need to shout, scream, and do all kind of stuff to finally win the vote. So that's exactly what it is.
Okay, okay, that's all. So for the last assembly election, I think both OYC and KT, I mean KCR fought together. So, but for this GSMC elections, they are separately fighting actually. So, what's the reason behind this actually? Because OYC is fighting, I think, in 51 out of 150 seats. It seems like because where both the KCR as well as BJP doesn't have a strong vote. It seems so. So will it not break the when it comes to a three-way elections? It will be an advantage, an added advantage to the BJP. So will it be an advantage for the BJP in these elections actually?
Well, there is a tie-up between TRS and MIM openly. Okay, it is not
Okay.
acknowledged by the parties. The KCR had a 6-hour long meeting with OVC along with TRS party leaders just about 2 weeks ago before the elections they announced. And there they
Okay.
decided the contest from there. The last municipal corporation also TRS actually had, even though they had their own majority, they bought in MIM as a partner. KCR openly announced it. There's some old videos of it going around. They even gave the deputy mayor to MIM. Okay, so it is
Okay.
nothing surprising. It is only a public posturing right now. In fact, KCR has clearly told his candidates not to kind of go into Muslim areas, not to kind of campaign in dargahs and all that. And they even told them not to go to the temple because there is a vote polarization which BJP is trying. And if they kind of are, if TRS is seen with MIM, but BJP is using that slogan. BJP is
Okay.
telling every vote for TRS is a vote for MIM, and every vote for MIM is a vote for Rohingyas. Every vote for Rohingyas is a vote for Pakistan. So that is the route which is just taking finally, and they are trying to pin down. And TRS is desperately trying to avoid getting caught in this battle of trying. They're saying not going for Muslim votes. We are not a party with MIM at all. But after election, mind you, whatever be the result, TRS and MIM will be together. That is a foregone conclusion.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir. So there has been a war of words between KTR as well as some BJP persons, and they were hitting very openly actually. So even Tejasvi Surya has hitted very openly, like TRS is for the family, of the family, by the family, like that. He has written very openly. So I think in many of the issues, TRS has been supporting the government from outside, whether it is in Lok Sabha as well as in Rajya Sabha. They were supporting the many bills like YSRC, TRS as well as the Biju Janata Dal has been supporting the TRS. Wouldn't will this make any difference? I mean, any difference between them because they were close actually. We know that because in fact they may fight outside, but they were close within inside. Will this make any difference between them actually?
Well, no, not really. If you ask me, it's not going to make a major difference actually,
Okay, okay,
because
okay.
if you're talking of the fight, the war of words, it is very very clear the war of words why it is happening. Okay, the
Okay,
war of words between TR and others. It is merely a political posturing. Why TRS supported BJP is because TRS wants central funds for a lot of its development programs. They know that if you antagonize Modi and Amit Shah, that funding won't come, and that's why they are there. That is why they're pushing their luck. And now BJP has its kind of good majority in the Rajya Sabha, even though outright it is not there. BJP will be less dependent on TRS. Also, KCR's record as a union minister has not exactly been clean. There are a lot
okay,
of allegations that Sonia Gandhi knew what he was doing as a shipping minister. There are a lot of talks about the real estate guys in Hyderabad supporting KTR, Benami funds, all that. Possibly Amit Shah is aware of all this. And, Nirmala Sitaraman knows what is happening. And there were
okay.
few raids also on income tax raids on these major realtors in Hyderabad. And that I think is falling into place why TRS actually supports BJP, even though from the outside they want to show that they are against BJP, but they have no choice basically because they can't be seen to be going with Congress. That will be a political suicide for them. So they have no choice. Who do they go to? Congress is finished, there's only BJP. That's that.
Okay, 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 sir, sir. So my last question, I will finish with this question actually. So we are, what is BJP up to in the state for 2023 elections? Because we have hardly 3 years for these elections, and we have followed by 2024 Lok Sabha elections also. So for this, I mean, it was actually wiped out nearly in the 2018 elections, and then it won 4 seats with 19 percentage, exactly around 19 percentage it seems. So will the BJP able to be the principal opposition in the 2023, or will the BJP can gain more seats like most of the seats in 2024?
No, I don't think they'll get more seats. I think they will get the maximum 6 to 8 seats or even 10 seats in the next Lok Sabha election. It all depends on the permutations and combinations. For example, Southern Andhra with DK Aruna's entry, Southern Telangana rather with DK Aruna's entry, Mahbub Nagar, all that part is going to be extremely strong with BJP. Northern Andhra, Northern Telangana again is going to be a big, big thing. And as they call it, Hyderabad, Karnataka side also, which is the district bordering Karnataka. BJP is going to really put some lot of pressure. But then BJP needs to do a lot of homework. I
Okay,
still feel, in spite of the so-called aggression, their leaders are not aggressive. They're very
okay.
soft people, except for maybe people like
So
Dharmapuri
you
Arvind.
still need more aggression for those leaders actually.
Yeah, yeah, I'm telling you because see, this is a different ballgame. This election in Telangana because KCR uses all kind of adjectives against Modi. So
Okay,
BJP it is accepted as a defeat. So BJP has to get more aggressive. That's why you see people like Dharmapuri Arvind, who kind of liberally uses abusive language against the CM and his son and the family. He's very popular because the
okay,
crowd and likes to listen to people who speak like that. Raghunandan Rao, who won from Dubaka, is like that. He speaks like that. The
okay,
Telangana language is like that. Telangana lingo is like that. Use a lot of Marathi words, use a lot of Hindi words in Telugu also. And you have to literally be seen aggressive. Anybody who's not seen as aggressive will not win Telangana. That's for sure.
okay, okay. So I will add up one question. So KCR last week said so he will speak to all anti-BJP leaders and form the third alliance possibly. So he said this before 2019
No,
elections also. Then he met Mamta Banerjee. Then he dropped and he went a while. So will this will this happen again, or a third alliance can be formed?
KCR is dreaming. He's just kind of posturing. He keeps saying this once in a while. Look, who can he go with? Mamta Banerjee, Mayawati, I mean Akhilesh Yadav, Lalu Prasad Yadav, Shiv Sena, who else will he go with? These are all people who have their individual agendas, who have all private limited companies like KCR's private limited company. They're all family-run political parties. There's not even one single political party, including Stalin's DMK. So what did he do? He tried this before the 2019 elections. He fell flat on his face because everywhere there's a Congress behind them. In DMK Congress, RJD Congress, Mamta Banerjee Congress. They will everywhere Congress is there. And if KCR goes with any combination that has Congress in it, he will be finished in Telangana. That is the problem for it. Principally, that is why he's putting the rock in the hard place.
Okay, sir. So thank you so much for your time. So it was a pleasure talking to you actually. So we will actually discuss one more interview after the GHMC elections results. So thank you for your time, sir. Thank you so much from Indo Analytics team.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.